But really, one of the core things that I try to build into any business that I'm a part of is service. And the reason that I do that is because I constantly feel like I have a pulse, or at least I'm slightly connected to the larger organism. This is the community involvement video. I went to a car show upon request of my mother to go and check out something and film something way more interesting than me sitting around. But, a lot of a lot of healthcare in general can be community involvement. It's actually a message that I'm trying to spread to the local universities here in Ohio and kind of the Midwest, I guess Middle East of United States. Listen, like, community really just comes down, you don't have to be butt buddies with everyone. You have to, however, have a sense of grace that people actually enjoy being in your presence. That's a personal philosophy of mine that's very important to me. And it's easy to lose that when we're constantly on the grind and kind of moving things forward as much as we can. But I wanted to talk about community involvement in the sense of how can you be involved in a community and also be a career motivated individual, right? Career motivated individuals need to go home and grind out a bunch of papers and make sure things are moving and make sure the KPIs and metrics are met and all of this stuff. But really, one of the core things that I try to build into any business that I'm a part of is service. And the reason that I do that is because I constantly feel like I have a pulse, or at least I'm slightly connected to the larger organism. It's a massive part, in my opinion, in sustainability of actually trying to make these things last and trying to make our motivations in these things last. So, I built out this nonprofit called Bright Smiles Community Outreach Coalition. Very complicated to run that properly, getting the right people, obviously. Obviously, Turabify is my way of connecting to people in my past, people, my relatives, people that are strangers that are curious about kind of these nuances in life. But as a dentist in particular, like, I'm in a small town in Franklin, Ohio. So I get a sense of community every time I open up the conversation and say, hey, where do you live? What's going on there? What restaurants do you go to? What are some things that you're struggling with? I hire locally, right? Obviously, the people that come in those from these areas, they're telling me stories about their life. They're telling me their partner's stories. They're telling me their individual stories. So I get this sense of community through my workplace, and I think a lot of people do too. But there's also something that I built out on Sundays, which is a Magic community. Magic the Gathering is one of my favorite card games of all time, one of my favorite games that I continue to play nowadays. I wonder if that's going to remain, but it's something that I built literally one person at a time. So every Sunday, I would show up at 7 p.m. and I would hit up my old group and I would say, "Hey, let's put a game together." And sometimes they'd be busy and sometimes they wouldn't. And so what I would say is, okay, let's go to Spell Table, which is this online platform where you can open a public game and you can put your camera facing downwards and you can actually click on the cards on your screen and they'll pop up, and because they're a repository of cards, you can type them in. And what I did for literally, and I still have for months and months, probably 6 months, 7 months now, I play every Sunday, and I start somewhere around 5:30 to 7 p.m. And if I have two or three people, I open up a slot to the public. And when someone comes in that I actually enjoy hanging out with, I say, "Hey, do you want to join this Discord community?" And what it's done is actually created a community, really. And there'll be a Sunday night where maybe the two of us will log on and two other people from the community log on. And then we're like, oh shit, we have a game here, right? Do I know these people in like this deep existential way? No. But I do have this chance to interact with other human beings consistently from over the course of weeks and months, and we learn about each other and where they live and what their culture is like, right? So that's a sense of community too. And that I think is very important. People do this through church. They do this through, again, games, sports, whatever it is. Super, super, super important to have something outside of work that's also community. Could be your family. But showing up consistently there is kind of the point here. When it comes to work, you got to show up consistently to work. You got to have these larger initiatives in place that hold people together and make people feel cared for. But in personal life, you got to also have people that you want to have fun with, right? People that you build music with, people that you build artwork with, people that you go walking or hiking in the woods with. There's ways to find this. Meetup is really good. having a personal hobby, if you just look up what's going on in the area and you find like one or two people that you actually kind of get along with, you can like consistently meet with them and create your own meetup. It tends to take a lot of energy to do these things, but the dividends, what I've learned over my life, over the last couple of years of my life, the dividends of consistently trying to build something where just for yourself even is tremendous for everyone else involved. And it's something that people remember for years and years afterwards. In graduate school, I built the Health Sciences Music Club because I wanted to study my dentistry and also very efficiently get jams in because I was so used to in college having the ability to go to anyone's house, any of like five people's houses over the course of a week and actually just play drums and enjoy my time with them for like hours, you know? And I wanted to have that same thing in graduate school because I knew that it was something that I wanted to continue to pursue. And I still make albums. I'm actually releasing one in August called Locus with a good friend of mine, Matthew Kelly, who was in the original band. I think it was called Wavy Dazed. You can probably find a video, the first album that we put out together. And yeah, I can't stress enough, guys. Like, you got to be involved in something that's larger than yourself. It's part of like being human. And to do this through work is really, really useful. It's like, it's almost necessary, but to do it also in your personal life and try to connect everything together in like a little spider web, that's super satisfying. So hopefully this finds you well. And just in general, community, build it. Be that leader, be that catalyst, be that person that invites people into your party and do it to the point where you know who not to invite and you know who you would like to have there and set your guidelines and your restrictions because at the end of the day you're going to be doing the work to make that community work. And if you're not the one doing the work to make that community work, be really really grateful to the people that are organizing it and give them your time, your love, your money, whatever it is that they demand or that they need to keep that community going. It really does make life a lot more satisfying. So hopefully this helps actualize your potential catalyst. This world needs you. Peace.